Is my screen visible? Okay. So we are going to start with unit number 3, lesson number 3 of writing, that is endangered species. Okay. Now in this lesson, mainly we are going to look at how to introduce problems and how to talk about solutions in your writing task 1. Okay. Now after that, we are also going to look at how to organize your paragraph and how to present your problems and solutions by organizing your paragraph over there. And then we will look at the integrated writing task also that we have. And then we will look at how to use our comparatives and superlatives. Again, that is something that we have looked at in our in our grammar sessions previously. Correct? Okay. I will quickly share the handout with you. Just 1 minute. Set. Yeah. Okay. Now, here, first thing that we have is we are going to talk about animal habitats. Now, over here, we have a warm-up part where you have to look at the pictures and you have to write down where these animals usually live and of course the names of the animals also. Okay, try it out quickly. Mm-hmm. Jungle, you can't just answer jungle, you will need to give a proper reference over here by giving the name of the habitat. When we say habitat, you have to tell me the name of the exact places that they are found. Okay. Hmm. Here, see, we are when we look at these units, we are also trying to expand your general knowledge. Okay, because when you come across these kind of passages in your actual test, it shouldn't be something which is new for you. Correct? At least you should know basic things. I would say over here. That is the reason we are going through these units because these are the types of passages you will get. Correct in your test. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Who lives in forest? Forest, which type of forest? Which forest? There are so many forests on this earth. Which forest? When we are saying habitat, you need to tell me the exact place. Exact place मतलब earth पे कौन सी जगह पे map पे कौन सी जगह पे मिलते हैं. That's what you have to tell me. हाँ. Okay, next one. Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay, next. Mm-hmm. Really? Okay. Wait, where did the answers go? These are your answers. First one is South China tiger. They are found in evergreen forest. Second one is blue whale. They are usually found in Arctic or Southern Ocean. And then you have giant panda. Not only panda, they are called giant panda. They are found in Western China. And the last one is polar bear. They are found in Arctic Circle. Now I hope you know where where these places are on our map. थोड़ी सी geography भी revise कर लेना एक बार. It's good to have knowledge. Okay, understood? Clear? Okay. Now question number 2. What are these animals' habitats like now? What are these animals' habitats like now? मतलब अभी उनके habitats कैसे हैं? If you know about these places, you don't know that much. Okay, no problem. Next, what problems are these animals facing? Do you have any idea about that part? Pranjali, I can't see you on camera, okay? Pranjali, just give me 1 minute. Just 1 minute. I will check the schools and give you a call. Okay? Finish the writing part for homework. No, no, not for you. I was talking to the other student. Sorry. Okay. What problems are these animals facing? Do you have any idea about that? They are becoming extinct. 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 Write down that word if you want. Extinct. EXTINCT. Extinct म्हणजे how I guess मराठी मध्ये you have that word की दुर्लभ का दुर्बल असं काहीतरी word आहे. They are becoming less and less in number and their species is dying basically. Okay. So try to Google search a bit as you don't know answers to many of these questions. Try to Google search a bit. Quickly. Okay. Now at least you know a little bit about them. Okay. What do you think? What problems are these animals facing? Mm-hmm. Because of the climate issues, what? You have to complete the sentence. That was an incomplete sentence. Decreasing. Okay, very good. So basically, because of global warming, we can say because of global warming, the habitat is getting hampered. Correct. If you look at polar bear need ice. They need cold regions. Okay. If there is no ice, there is no snow. They will not be able to live. Correct. Same thing with tigers. Tigers, you might know they have already decreased in number a lot by what it was a long time back. Same thing goes for whales also. They are decreasing day by day. The bigger ones, I'm talking about the bigger ones, of course, blue whale, which are supposed to be rare now. Same thing goes for pandas also because the habitats are decreasing day by day because, of course, their forest is being converted into a concrete jungle now. So that is the reason they're suffering. Correct? Very good. Now, what do you think causes these problems? What do you think causes these problems? People want to, people is plural. Mhm, mhm. Okay, and what about global warming? Global warming is also an issue, correct? Because of which we are facing. Okay, I told you the answer already. Next, over here, we have an article, just like your writing task one. We have an article, you have to look at the article, note the main ideas which are there, and then we will be looking at the. You have to read it. You can open it at your side. It will be better for you to read it. Okay. You have to read it, and then I will be giving you a short exercise on the same. Done? Okay. One second. Now over here you have to, next task that you have is you have to find out the adjectives which have been used in your article that you just read. Okay, you have to find the adjectives and you have to write the form in which they have been used. We have already gone through comparative degree and superlative degree before, if you remember. So if they are in comparative degree, you will write them down in comparative degree. If they are in superlative degree, you will write them down in superlative degree. Okay, try doing it. Okay, did you find one? Did you find all of them? Okay, check your answer now. Okay, loud, louder has been used. Easy, easier has been used. High, higher has been used. Important, the most important, and the more important. The more important has been used. Effective, more effective has been used. Very good. Now we know that these are comparatives and superlatives forms of adjectives. Whenever we want to compare, whenever we want to talk about two things or more than two things, that is where we use comparative degree. Correct? Of course, whenever we talk only about one thing, we will use positive degree and we will talk only about one thing. For example, it is cheap. But if I am comparing between two things, then I will say it is cheaper. It is cheaper than the other one. That is how I will say. And then that's when I will use comparative and whenever I am talking about two things. Correct? Now, if I have more than two things, then I will use superlative degree. Now, in comparative degree, we have to remember that we have to use comparative form of the adjective that we have. Along with that, we have to use the word than after the adjective. Okay. In superlative degree, we will use the superlative form of the word, that is cheapest over here, cheap, cheaper, cheapest. Correct. And with that, we will use the article the. Whenever we have the superlative degree of the adjective, we will use the article the. So I will say this phone is cheap. I'm only talking about one phone. This phone is cheaper than the other one. And If I'm talking about all the phones in the market, then I will say this is the cheapest phone. So, among all the phones, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we have to remember. Now, we have already gone through this. You might remember whenever there are big adjectives, whenever there are adjectives which cannot be changed into comparative or superlative form, we use the words more and most with them. Correct? For example, the word important. Word important cannot be changed into superlative and comparative form. So we use more and most with them. More in comparative form and most with superlative form. Now we have to remember that whenever the words can be made into superlative and comparative, we will not use the words more and most with them. Now, that's where we have to be careful with our irregular adjectives. Now, what are irregular adjectives? Which don't change into ER and EST form. They totally change whenever we want to talk about them. For example, many becomes more and most. Bad becomes worse and worst. Good becomes better and best. What many people do is, this is the most best ऐसे बोलते हैं, this is more better ऐसे बोलते हैं. Now these words are already in comparative and superlative form, so we don't need any other words with them. Okay, that's what we have to remember. Clear? Any confusion, any doubt over here? Okay, no problem. I'll be sharing one exercise with you. Of course, we are doing the class exercise, but along with that, I will share one extra exercise also with you for adjectives. Okay, now try doing this exercise. The adjectives have been given in the bracket. You just have to change them into comparative and superlative according to the sentence. Okay, sure. Yes, please come in. Okay, finish it fast, okay? Pranjali, I think we'll go ahead and register for the test for 1st March. You're doing well in reading and listening. Only help is needed in speaking and writing. Okay, so we have 12, 13 days. 12, 13 days. So we will register. Uh, After 1st, what was the date? Hmm. The schedule that I had shared with you, 8th March. You tell me, I am okay with anything. 5th, but we also have 5th. You have 5th and 8th. Still, you decide and tell me. We will register for it today. Okay? Hmm. Because I have the voucher, it's been with me for 3 days now. We need to use that. Okay? Next. 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, yeah. Okay, done. Okay. Now, check your answers quickly. Good becomes better. Significant becomes more significant because we're talking about two things. Then fast becomes faster. Bad becomes worse. Effective becomes the most effective because here we're talking about more than two things. The fastest, we're talking about all the animals. More and greater, and then the largest. All correct? Okay, great. Next, over here, now whenever we are writing, we have to make sure that we use these kind of adjectives. Okay, they help us to get a better score. For example, if say you have been asked a question with something like, where do you prefer to study? In a library, in a cafe, or in a dorm? In this case, you will start with basically using your comparatives and superlatives by giving your preferences and giving explanations for those preferences. Okay, your comparatives and superlatives and the correct form of comparatives and superlatives will give you a way to basically explain your answer. That's what we are looking at over here. Okay, now next we have an exercise over here which is according to our writing task 1. You are going to read a passage first and then I'm going to play the audio for the passage which is according to our writing task 1, and based on that you have to write as usual. You know the drill, correct? That is something that you have to do. Understood? Okay. I think it's the same article. No, it's a different article. Read the article, tell me once you're done. It is continued on the next page. If you want, you can open it for your reference in your PDF. You get only 3 minutes to read over there. Remember that part. Now, what you have to do is, before going to the listening task, here you have to write down the 3 problems which have been mentioned in your passage. Okay. Usually, you know that you have 3 problems mentioned or 3 statements, 3 things mentioned. Whatever the professor is going to talk about, there will be 3 main things that we will talk about. There will always be 3 points. Okay. So now, first thing that you have to do is, this is a problem and solution wala writing task that we are doing over here. So first thing that you have to do is note down the 3 problems that you can see which have been mentioned explicitly over here in the format that has been given in your PDF. Because when you look at this kind of passages, you understand clearly that okay, it's a problem article, so the professor is going to give us a solution in the listening task. Because we know whatever we read, uske opposite रहता है हमारा listening, correct? So here, if they are talking about a problem, then of course in the listening task you are going to listen to the solutions. Now once you have noted down the problems, it becomes easier for you to note down their solutions also, and that is what you are going to highlight in your writing. Okay, just note the problems which have been mentioned. The first problem is deforestation. It has been highlighted over there, correct? The first problem is deforestation or the destruction of natural forests, correct? Now, why it happens? Human activities. You can just write COZ for your reference because of COZ cause. Uh, you can just write human activities. Okay. Then second problem, African elephant is elephant human conflict. Correct? They have small amount of space to live. Correct? It has been highlighted. One word जो खुद को याद रहे वैसे words you have to write. ठीक है? Then next third problem, it has been explicitly mentioned over there. The third problem faced by elephants is the trade of ivory. Do you know what is ivory? Then we will find the meaning of that word first. Okay, ivory is basically that जे दात असतात त्यांचे बाहेरचे, those teeth which are visible from outside, that's called ivory. Okay, so that is the main issue because of for their basically long teeth, which is ivory, they are usually killed or hunted, you can say, for exports and imports. It is though illegal, but still people still do it. Correct? Understood? Okay. Now, what we are going to do is, you have noted the problem, 3 problems which have been mentioned. Now, we have to listen to the audio and note down the solutions. Now, here I'm going to switch my screen because यहाँ पर audio play नहीं होगा क्या नहीं होगा. Listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about. This is another issue that I'm facing. Now, as I just told you, as we have looked at the problems in the audio, we know that we are going to listen to solutions. Make sure you note down the 3 solutions that the professor is giving over here. Okay. 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 Have you noted all three solutions? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing from here. 1 second. Now you can mention the problems and the introductions like the solutions like this, but that's secondary. This was your listening excerpt. Just go through it and see if you have missed out on any of the points that the professor mentioned. Okay, so he clearly says over there that you read a short text on the different ways in which elephants are being threatened. It may look like the things are getting worse, but there are some other things that we can do. According to the reading, he's mentioning over there, deforestation is damaging the elephants' habitat and food sources. Now, here he gives the solution. We need to support this sustainable development and farming. That means we should use tools and techniques that cause the least amount of damage to the environment. We have to make sure that the natural resources are there for long term. Now, as for the, he is giving solution for the second issue over here, that is human elephant conflict. It is solution is to involve local communities in conservation programs. Locals can earn money from tourism, which helps fund these programs. Furthermore, local communities can work closely. Okay, that is what he has mentioned over here. Clear? Okay, that was the only part. Understood? Hmm. You have to write now based on that. Okay, these were your solutions which the professor gave for the problems that we have noted. We noted the problems over there which were correct. I'm sure we have noted it correctly. First one is deforestation, second one is elephant conflict, third is the trade of ivory. The solutions that he gives is support sustainable development and farming for the first problem. For second problem, keep elephants away from farms and populated areas. And for the third problem, involve local communities in conservation programs. Correct? Now your task is you're going to share the screen and you're going to start writing. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You're going to start writing. Now we have the next part on how to introduce your problems and solutions. If you want, for now you can refer to it and write, but I'm going to explain that tomorrow whenever Hamza is there in the class, because writing part is where you both need help. Okay, so I want to cover it in depth, but I just want you to write the way you write right now. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I want you to start writing. Share your screen and start writing. I can see your screen.